We are right in the throes of the dog days of summer. Some people still have holidays to go. Some people are reminiscing on the holidays that have been, but now is the perfect time to, just soak up what is left, the most beautiful season of them all, by introducing Swimsuits and some of your favorite fighting games that are out there. And honestly, like old throwbacks to, Dead or Alive, honestly, outside of the obvious reasons that are right there, it's like Dead or Alive used to be a really great fighting game, okay? Especially, I'm not the biggest fan of the 3D fighting games, but for me, it was definitely the go-to. I was more of a DOA fan as opposed to a Tekken fan, mostly because, my friends had the the DOA games, and it wasn't until much later, until the release of, oh god, what the hell did we play? Tekken 6, I think Tekken 5 and Tekken 6, whatever was on PS3, I think that was Tekken 6, but yeah, we played a little bit of Tekken over there, but yeah, in general, we had the Ultimate Collection and DOA 3 on the original Xbox. That was a lot of fun. I really liked those games quite a bit, and no, it wasn't just for the reasons like that. I'm not entirely sure if that was in any of the DOA games or if that was from one of the Extreme Beach Volleyball games, which I played. By the way, the first DOA Extreme Beach Volleyball, really good volleyball game, by the way. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that out there. But yeah, as for Tekken 8, which oh boy, this time last year they were riding extremely high. It was one of the best performing, not just Tekken games, but of fighting games in general, at a point in time where, yeah, Mortal Kombat was teetering on irrelevance. At this point in time, it's completely and totally done and dusted. But hey, there's an update that's coming that's I don't know, gonna fix nothing really. It's probably gonna unshackle the cameos from just regular one-on-one Mortal Kombat gameplay. Is it gonna fix anything? Is it gonna revive the game? Absolutely not. I think because EVO just happened over this past weekend, I think, and because MK1 ended up getting I think it got final day coverage, but I think that's going to be a one and done game, which is so wild to think about in regards to a Mortal Kombat game, but I digress. Moving back, yeah, and Street Fighter 6, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, but Tekken 8, it was king of the hill at that point in time, fresh off of release, and a very successful first season. But yeah, after the release of season 2, oh boy, it's been it's been interesting to say the least. I don't know all the particulars, but yeah, it's pissed off the fan base. So they decided, we see all the goodwill of all of the other companies that are out there just simply taking advantage of the time of the year, just looking at the cultural winds shifting in entertainment, going, yeah, we got some hot chicks over here in Tekken as well, and we can put them in swimsuits. It's just, the fuck are you doing? What the hell is going on here? I mean, wrong with her shoulders. She has no hips, and those are some giant hands, okay? Now, to be completely fair, coming out of EVO, they did announce a new character that's coming, okay, on top of Armor King, but Miary, I think she's at least kind of designed for these type of costumes, as opposed to, the name's escaping me right now, but yeah, it kind of looks like, bigger, baggier costumes were probably a little bit more in vogue. And so if you just do a straight-to-straight model transfer with that, yeah, it's going to look a little bit funny. But yeah, Miary here, part of season 2, not bad. Not bad at all. She's a curious lover of animals. Oh no, it's just such a unique story. A hot chick liking animals. Wow, big shock on that one. But hey, that's some of the most popular Tekken coverage I've seen in a while. So good job on that one. Hope that they can, fix all of the other lingering problems that's going on with the game right now. But another set of costumes that got unveiled. Now, we've seen a little bit of this in regards to, Street Fighter dropping. God, when did that come out? I think over Summer Games Fest, right? Where they announced, what was that, Season 3 for Street Fighter 6? But yeah, you also got the introduction of a bunch of swimsuit costumes, a bunch that are, kind of throwbacks. Cammy specifically was a throwback to some of that old 90s art that was out there in promotion for Street Fighter 2, but yeah, Chun in the one piece, Cammy in the two piece, and then you got the guys in there as well, just throwing it back. And I mean, some of this stuff is very interesting. It's very interesting. It's not really gonna, it's not enticing enough for me to check out Street Fighter 6, but yeah, I was always a little bit interested in Street Fighter 6, and with some of these other costumes that are coming along. I mean, it's just a throwback to fun. Okay, it really is, but Capcom, it kind of needs a W, because we talked about them earlier this year as well, and yeah, they've been putting out some good stuff. Okay, some stuff that has done well by the audience, but Monster Hunter Wilds, we need to talk about this here real quick. It got off gangbusters. A huge launch back at the tail end of February, 1.3, just about 1.4 4 million concurrent players. And because this had crossplay at the time with the different consoles that it launched on as well, yeah, well over 3 million sales. I think that they came out and announced, like, yeah, it was doing huge numbers and a lot of people were enjoying it. But as you can see right now, 11,000 people playing, and it still has Steam reviews at like 47%. What the fuck is happening, Capcom? Yeah, because they were like earlier this year during GDC, I think, or something like that. Oh, I'm sorry, Japan's Computer Entertainment Developers Conference. Okay, they were going to be giving a lecture. They were going to be giving a lecture about how to optimize their ports. Now, Capcom, they've definitely comported themselves nicely in recent years, where they've released some, really banger titles that are just well situated for PC. But if you know anything about their legacy, their PC ports have been sketchier than Jackson Pollock's art book. Okay, like they're not exactly the most historically apt company at optimization. It's just, it really came to a head with the release of Wilds, because actually 2025 has been a year of unoptimized slop, like even from indie titles just requiring state-of-the-art cutting edge, like 3080 4080 graphics cards just to do 2K60. Like, what the hell are we doing out here? Why are you releasing shit that's like 100 gigabytes? Why can't you optimize anything? Oh, right, that's because everybody coming through game developer school, yeah, they're all just taught on old, outdated versions of Unreal Engine, and they can't think for themselves. The industrialization of art, I'll say it again, has absolutely crippled the entertainment industry. But Capcom has canceled a lecture of the optimization of Monster Hunter Wilds at the upcoming CEDEC 2025 conference in Japan, amid concerns over harassment and threats its staff have been receiving over Monster Hunter Wilds. Per Automation, Capcom was set to host a talk at Japan's Computer Entertainment Developers Conference, which would have covered performance optimization through the lens of Monster Hunter Wilds, which is just like its faulty premise to begin with. The developers would have explored the angles of CPU and GPU load, as well as memory usage. Unless they were using this as like a negative example. Here's what you don't do. That would make sense. No reason was given for the cancellation, but speculation has swirled around whether it was related to harassment that developers have faced over Monster Hunter Wilds. The PC version of Wilds specifically has garnered criticism since launch, prompting commitments to improve and updates from the team at Capcom, which is so funny. IGN, just carrying the water of the industry. But then you got Games Radar, who is normally a similar cock holster for AAA studios, but Capcom announces a yet more great Monster Hunter Wilds changes that really won't matter at all until the PC port is fixed. Oh shit, lost Games Radar, huh? That sucks. Monster Hunter Wilds is getting a few changes that sound like genuine improvements to persisting issues, but the game's biggest problem by far being its busted PC port. I'm not sure they'll move the needle much in terms of overall perception, despite holding its position as one of the best games of 2025 so far amid a year of excellent releases. I don't see it. There's a couple of highlights, but other than that, it's just been a really bad. I think gaming has probably fared better than the rest of the entertainment industry, but that's not saying all that much. But I digress. Okay, so Monster Hunter Wilds subpar performance on PC has been a persistent pain point right from launch. Capcom has dropped substantive updates addressing some of the core issues, including a big one related to unusually high CPU load. But overwhelmingly negative recent Steam reviews still paint a dire image of the game's performance on PC specifically. So yeah, Capcom needs a W. Hence why they decided that, hey guys, look at Swimsuits and Street Fighter, because we're doing some interesting stuff. We still love gamers. We're still listening to you guys. Okay, it's just don't mind the shitty games that we put out there. But yeah, when you really factor all of this stuff together, factoring in what they're doing with Street Fighter, how they're just trying to retroactively fix and regain some of the audience for Wilds, because even if you just compare Monster Hunter Wilds to Monster Hunter Worlds, people are still willing to give Capcom the benefit of the doubt. But as they're banking more and more on multi-platform releases, how they are definitely deeply engaged with the PC audience, if you're going to continue to release busted ports, you guys are going to have a problem. Hence is what has been reflected with Capcom's stock price plummets as its latest financial reports shows cratering Monster Hunter Wild sales. Oh shit. On Monday, Capcom published its first quarterly report of 2025, and while the company showed growing revenues and profits, their report painted a dire picture of the state of Monster Hunter Wilds. During the quarter, that ended June 30th, Wild sales have fallen more than 95% from its launch quarter, Jesus, leaving the landmark release of Capcom's 9th best-selling title for the quarter behind older games like DMC5, Resident Evil Village, and Resident Evil 4 Remake. Wilds is, to put it lightly, in a rough state. Since launch, players' sentiment has soured to the point of widespread rancidity. I love that word. I'm going to be using that more. Leaving the game's recent Steam review ratings and the persistent, overwhelmingly negative. Chief among those complaints is the dismal performance, which attempted fixes in multiple post-launch patches have failed to properly address. And yeah, just simply looking at the sales, holy shit, yeah. In the second quarter of the year, only moving 477,000 units. Oof, that's tough, man. That's real tough. But Devil May Cry 5 just crushing it. That's very interesting. Okay, so players have also criticized its thin endgame experience and a lagging weapon balance. So yeah, they need a lot of wins. Okay, they either need a lot of wins by reviving Monster Hunter Wilds, or they just need to release more skins with more and more digital skin available in Street Fighter 6, because by all accounts, that's still a banger game that continues to be played overwhelmingly over the rest of the modern fighting game competition, which is still very stiff. But yeah, and the pun aside, you're going to have some competition with the new Marvel Tokon fighting game that's coming out, because that looks awfully good. And yeah, if they take any inspiration from Marvel Rivals when it comes to skins, yeah, Capcom, you're not going to be the only dog in this fight. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Watch to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.